Hey guys, for so long I had a dream. Going as far back as when I was a kid, motorsport fascination on cars really played a big part in my life since forever, and I always had the dream of one day owning my own drift car to mod and build myself. I had silly ideas like a lowered and modified hatchback Civic with a RWD conversion. In the games I played, I always wanted something a bit more different, and I already talked about how much I like sport hatches. Our first step in the video will be installing the nostrils and then head to Dortmund to install the Maxton front and side splitters. I remember spending countless hours in games that gave me the possibility to mod cars. I'd mod away creating dream cars, digging on the internet for 3D files of some rare front splitter. I really hoped that one day I could do these things myself, but in real life, I remember that moddable games gave me the possibility of doing weird conversions, mixing an R32 rear with an R34 front, not really caring too much of what others thought. It was my way of expressing an artistic vision, and I think that's what building a car in games or in real life is about. And like on my in-game cars, it was time to install front and side splitters, and after we were done, we would head to Big Boost Burgers to see some cars and eat some nice burgers. Oh, and fries. I love their fries. Their fries are great. Later in the video, I will also talk about my plans of getting a limited slip diff for the car, and if everything works out, Simon Motorsport will help me with that, as he's really experienced in making BMWs drift. And as our day in Dortmund was slowly coming to an end, we decided to eat, and then after that, go home and take some shots of the car. And like after every high, there's a down. And this was my down. After my car started doing extremely sus things and showing errors, like a typical BMW, it appeared that the injectors were broken. So I did what everyone would do in this situation and looked for the highest spot I could climb on, and then... I'm just kidding. I was lucky because I bought the car with warranty and they covered the entire cost for all 4 injectors on the car, so I could climb back down and get back into the office and go back to the usual things I do, the usual degenerate things I do, which is spending money on car parts. Exactly. So what's happening next is the rear bumper now. First, here are the upcoming parts that arrived and we will install. The diffuser, which I get to in a minute. Another Maxton splitter for the rear bumper to complete the body kit. Some 20mm spacers, so in total 40mm, and some boring stuff like PDC holders and stuff. And after I watched this YouTuber, I got really inspired. I showed you.
Well, you know what they say about paint? It's
really easy.
It's really easy.
Yeah,
anyone can do it in their garden. Yeah.
So I did exactly what Matt said and was on my way to Home Depot to get a garden tent and some masks to get the paint job on the rear bumper done myself. Now, after a long thought in the Home Depot and reconsidering most of my decisions in life, I came to the conclusion to get it done professionally. And the guys here from the local paint store did a great job. I mean, for now, we can only really tell once it's installed, but it does look really good so far while inspecting. Now, you must be crazy, or you must think I am crazy enough to get this done myself at this stage, but I can assure you one day I will at least try and get into painting things myself. Maybe we start with the rear spoiler. That's coming soon. It's gonna arrive soon. I think it's shipped. I don't know. Now, look at this. Small car, but all that space. I love that most of the transporting of things we made so far were made easy by the storage in my car. And that's what it is after all. It's my daily, a very low and soon driftable daily, but it's still my daily. Now, let's get to the diffuser. This little annoying specimen that will possibly cause us a lot of headache has the exhaust tip holes a bit too far to the middle, like on the 1M models. Now, on the normal 1 Series models, the tips are far more to the outside. We still don't know how much of an issue this will be, but we are almost certain this is gonna cause issues, and that we have to adjust the diffuser. There's quite a lot that has to be done to the rear of the car, which is the catback has to be installed, the diffuser will be adjusted, or maybe we adjust the exhaust tips or the entire exhaust. The spacers will have to be installed, the rear lights will be switched out with smoke ones, and the new spoiler. I've already ordered the Group A catback from Friedrich Motorsport, and I picked my exhaust tips of choice, which will be a surprise for the next videos. And parallel to that, I'll be checking with Simon Motorsport on options we have for a limited slip diff for this model, because welding the diff is something, like, don't give me stupid ideas. If it was in my daily, I would just weld it. But I don't fully exclude the option as well, like, don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Getting the old rear bumper off is really easy, but you need smaller size hands and smaller size arms, since you need to grab in between the gap between tires and bumpers to unscrew all the screws. Now, the big question also was, where the PDC sensors just gonna fit in? I'm gonna be honest, I almost not want to have them in the car, since they can be really annoying when you're trying to park the car, and anything like a damn leaf could make the thing go crazy. Sadly, this is where we came across the first issue, since it didn't fit. Sadly, the holes were drilled a bit too small, and the PDC holders I bought were also not the correct ones, so for this hole size, we had to use the holders from the stock bumper, so we had to improvise a tiny bit, which it did work out in the end, but we decided this was not going to be the permanent solution, so it was only for us to test it for now, and later we will have to make the new PDC holders fit with the rear bumper. For now, this is gonna work, just for us to test it out. Like expected, we ran into more problems, and like expected, it was gonna be the diffuser. We already guessed something was not going to fit, but what we totally would have not guessed is that the exhaust tip holes fit, but it was the big chunky muffler pot that blocked the diffuser off, so we have to get back to the drawing boards and think if we wait for the new catback to arrive and continue from there, or adjust the diffuser, because it might have to be adjusted either way. Even if we were to adjust it, you won't be able to see it from the outside, as it's just the inside bottom end of the diffuser touching the muffler. Now, sadly, this meant that we cannot leave the bumper on for now, as driving around like this is a bit silly, but at least it gave an idea on where we have to work on to get it done perfectly. Although we couldn't leave it on, in a bit we at least get the idea of what it will look like, and we will also compare it to the old stock rear bumper. We also just noticed that we will have to remove the trailer hitch, which is not an issue since there won't ever be a time when I will really use it, but it will take some time, as well as there's electronics connected to it, so sadly not just an easy remove. Anyways, let's have a look at the rear bumper and get an idea of what it's gonna look like. And so far I'm really loving it. The lower end shape towards the rear tires looks really nice in my opinion. And the entire shape of the cut where the diffuser is placed is a design I really like from BMW. It's not just something the 1M has, it's something that you will find on a few rear bumpers on some of the newer models. So I'm definitely a fan, even if it's a bit silly for now without the diffuser. Sadly, we will have to take everything off for now so that we can hopefully continue working on it next week. But for now, here's a comparison also, old versus new and the shapes. I mean, just have a look.
Memento.
And yeah guys, that's it for now. Much more coming in the next few weeks since we have so many plans still, and not just with building the car but also getting ready to drive sideways properly. And yeah, thank you all so much for the lovely support. If you want, leave a subscribe and like, that will help the channel, and see you soon. Bye bye. Bye. See you soon.